Hiya. Yeah, I thought about doing a video or like some kind of just basically a video on why I think a lot of the reasons why people are kind of struggling on a daily basis, like with their mental or emotional issues, like emotional blockages, unstable emotions, people feeling insecure, self hatred, mood swings, basically, stress, anything. And I think a lot of it, truthfully, honestly, if I think about it deeply, um, there are sensitive people and there are people that are not so sensitive. And I think people that are sensitive are struggling to adjust to a world, basically, or a society, you could call it, that's been built up, and there's a lot of stress going on. These phones, these TVs, these laptops, these stereos, these cars, these jobs, these stress, these money, these bills. Then you've got the insecurities now, where everyone thinks they've got to look perfect. Everyone's trying to dress a certain way, social stress. Then on top of that, you got alcohol, you got drugs. So you've got all that mixed into one. And some people can deal with that. Some people can go to work, they can go out on a weekend, they can pay the bills, they can do all these kind of things and function well, and they can live, like a happy life. But then you get people that are super sensitive, and maybe they've gone through childhood trauma, or maybe they're just really sensitive. Maybe like they've been affected by drugs and it's made them really sensitive. I don't know, but if you think about it, this kind of world we're living in now, this society, well, in this country, let's say England, or like America, stuff like that, it's kind of an unnatural world, because we've only been in this kind of culture now for about 100, 200 years, 100, 200, 300 years. And obviously as the years are progressing, more technology, more stress, more money worries, more, everything's becoming more like image based, how you look, how you know everything is. And then so what I'm saying is it's, if you're sensitive, we haven't had chance to evolve and adjust our emotional and spiritual and physical and mental ways. We haven't had a chance to evolve properly into these stressful environments, and it will take probably 100,000, 200,000, maybe like a million years, really truly, to adapt into this situation. If you brought someone, say, from the Amazon jungle, who's never been around this kind of stress, and you put them into your shoes and you say, right, this is what you got to do, you got to deal with this, you got to learn this, you got to learn that, you got to pay this, you got to pay that, you got to look a certain way, you got to act a certain way, you've got to have a phone, you've got to text, ring, communicate, you've got to watch TV on a night time, you've got to eat this junk food. And they'd be like, whoa, what the fuck, what, they wouldn't be able to handle it, not even for a day. They'd be so overwhelmed. And I personally think, I think this is what's wrong. I think we haven't evolved properly into this kind of state, and it's causing people a lot of problems. People who can't, they're struggling to mould into this way of life, because if you're sensitive, then anything that's unnatural, anyway, to me, anything that's unnatural gives me stress. Like if I spend too long on my phone, obviously there's a lot of people spend too long on my phone. If I drink alcohol, if I eat junk food, if I'm around certain people, if I listen to certain music, if I watch certain programs, if I watch any kind of TV, to be honest, it makes me feel a bit just not right. And it's been like this I've been like that from being a kid, from being very young. I've always been very hypersensitive to things that's been going on. And this is where I think a lot of these mental illnesses and stuff, they can appear from. It's the stresses and strains, and people don't know how to deal with things, and they're not looking after themselves, and it's causing more stress, and they're not calming themselves down at night time. So you go to bed and you got all this stress that you've been thinking about. Holy shit, got this to pay, I've got that to pay, shit, I'm in debt with that company, God, I've got that phone bill coming out tomorrow, I ain't got enough in my bank. That, to me, that really, truthfully, you think about it, is not human, real, true human nature. That is not nature. Like I say, if you put someone from a different culture, coming into this culture, let's call it a culture, it is a culture, isn't it? This is kind of our culture, this is our culture that we are being, you know, brought up in, and we've been made to think that it's all natural and it's normal, and everything's, you know, you got a baby, you know, it's fair enough, people can get on with it and they have good lives, and that's good, and I'm glad people can do that. But this video is for the people who are struggling to fit into this this really stressful environment. And like I say, if you're sensitive to it, and you know, the more sensitive you are, the more you're affected by it. You know, so I'm just saying that I believe the main reasons for a lot of mental illnesses, stress, and why people, you know, they do take their lives is people who are struggling to deal with the way life is and the stresses it throws at us, and the worries and the strains and the social situations. And you know, you've got to be perfect, you've got to be everything's got to be great and perfect, everything's got to be fine. You know, you've got to be strong, you've got to be a man, get on with things, you know, pay your bills and pay your rent and all that. But again, it's not a natural human habit. It's not, and we haven't evolved properly into these situations, and that's why, you know, suicide's going up and all this stuff, because people are really struggling, and people, they try hide and everything's fine, I'm just going to get on with it and do this, and they're struggling, and eventually, you know, things go too far. And yeah, so I'm just kind of aiming it towards people who are struggling really with stress and worries and anxieties and fears. For normal, well, what we perceive to be normal day-to-day routines of life, you know, they're really unnatural. They are really unnatural. You know, people might say, "Oh, you're being soft." Well, like I say, it's knowing when you feel something's not right and you know something's not right, and your spirit and your mind and whatever, your physical form is trying to battle with that. Saying it's not right. Oh yeah, but come on, this is social life. Oh yeah, but no, but I just don't feel right. I don't feel safe. I don't feel like, you know, this just don't feel right to me. Shut up, man. Come on, man up, be a man. You know, go to work, do this, do that. Come on, you know what I mean? Everything's great. Yeah. And this thing's, there's like two things like niggling away at you. One's, you know, kind of not sure and thinking, I don't know about this stuff, you know, it don't feel natural. And this one's like, oh, come on, go to work, drink some caffeine, you'll be alright, you're tired, just drink some caffeine, eat some sugar, you'll be fine. You know, everything's a bit, but sensitive people will be affected by stress, unnecessary stresses that we consume our minds with, and they take up a lot of time and a lot of energy. They cause a lot of fear, they cause a lot of problems and a lot of emotional disturbances. And I believe truly that, you know, half of someone's mental unsettlement lately is because of stress. How many people in tribes and all that, I've never heard of anyone. I've watched a lot of documentaries and stuff on tribes, and I've never seen or heard anyone have like a mental illness or have like breakdowns, you know, and end up in psychiatric wards. I mean, there is no kind of psychiatric ward, but I suppose, you know, they do use plants and plant medicines, so if someone's spirit was kind of out of tune, you know, they use like plants and plant medicines, which is fine. I believe in all that 110%. I believe in that a lot. Plant medicine, natural sources and medicines and stuff, but that's like another video that I could talk about, you know, like plant medicine healing people and stuff, and ayahuasca and all that stuff. But, you know, we're not really in an environment where we can, you know, kind of approach that. Things are like illegal, and you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go picking this or picking that. Everything's illegal. Everyone thinks everything's a drug nowadays, you know, like plant stuff, you know. So yeah, I'm just, like I say, this video is just about me speaking about what I believe a lot of these are these a lot of people that are struggling, including me, that struggle with daily social environments, social situations, stress. Yeah, a lot of it is caused, I know personally from my experience, a lot of it is caused by stress. I know a lot of people, that struggle with these kind of things, they struggle, with anxiety, stress, panic attacks. Where do you think panic attacks stem from? Fear. Fear of what? Fear of this so-called society that's going on around us, getting bombarded with all this stuff, like, got to look a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way, not show your emotions, don't, not expressing ourselves, being ashamed to express who we are. So then we all wear these capes and masks, and we walk around and we think everything's fine, but a lot of people struggle with that. And it's sensitive people, and there are a lot of sensitive people, and the people who are sensitive should not be ashamed of being sensitive. And if you're struggling and battling in your head, and and you're struggling in day-to-day life, don't fight it and be really ashamed of it and think, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. Fair enough, you've got to pay your bills, this is the kind of world we're in, but people are struggling a lot, and things are getting a lot worse. I mean, look at TV, I'm not going to go too much into conspiracies and all that stuff or whatever it is, but obviously TV and stuff put a lot of insecurity on people, especially young kids now. I've got a son who's 12, and I can see it already, like he's on about, getting a six-pack and all that, and 12-year-old, I'm pretty sure I didn't think about getting a six-pack at 12-year-old. Fair enough, when I got, older, I kind of did get obsessed with the gym, and, I probably still am, but what I'm saying is the pressures again are getting pushed, and they're starting earlier, and they're starting early, and soon kids will be like 7-8-year-old, and worrying about how they look too much, and thinking that they're not good enough and not feeling good enough, and then that leads to more stress and more mental illnesses, doesn't it? And then where does it end up? Seriously, and you must talk about these things, and don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be constantly, like I've done it in the past and I still do it now. Like bullying yourself, bullying, not feeling good enough, not feeling accepted, not feeling that you look right, or it's unnatural, and we haven't had a chance to evolve into this role yet. We haven't evolved into this role. A lot of us have not, and if you have evolved into it, well, or you've taken the part into it, and you accept it, and you live your life and you're happy, then that's great. But like I say, there is a lot of people that are struggling to live a free, happy life, mentally. There's a lot of mind prisons going on. There's a lot of people's minds in prisons and having wars and battles. There's wars going on, like, physically around the world, but most of the battles, if not all the battles, are up here in your head. This is where the battles are. This is where the battles begin. If they want a battle up here, then there would be no battles on Earth, would there? Surely they wouldn't. If there's peace up here, then there's peace on the Earth. If there's no peace up here, then there's no peace on the Earth. We're the most powerful things on this planet, species or whatever. We're powerful, we're the most powerful, we have a conscious mind, or so we think. Conscious, we can make decisions, we know what's right and wrong, we know what feels wrong and feels right. So again, I think all the wars and all the upset people, shooting people and stuff like that. It's all because of the battle up here. So the pressures of society again can cause, more battles, and the more battles and the more pressure in society, the more battles will go on, will go on up here, and the more wars will happen, and the more shootings we'll get, and suicides, and all these things will continue, and they will get worse, because the pressure of society. Like I say, I'll go back to this again, and I always go back to this in tribes and stuff like that. They live different lives. They don't have like mental illnesses, and they use plants, and they eat the right kinds of food, and I would like to think they have peaceful, happy lives. I can only say from what I've seen on documentaries and stuff. I've never been, to like the Amazon jungle, but they just like I say, it's a big switch in it. It's a big switch from living out in the natural environment where there's no like electronics or stress as such. Yeah, you have the worry of eating, but you it's natural human behaviour that you grow your own vegetables and rear your own cattle. You know what I mean? And that's it. And you live your life, and you have your kids, and you go hunting, and you just live and be peaceful. You know what I mean? And you be happy and still and focused, and just like a present mind. Where you're just in the moment. Whereas nowadays there is no fucking. It's really hard to get focused into a present moment where you're not thinking of anything like a bill or fucking some kind of issue you've got with yourself, or not having enough money, or your rent being due, or thinking about something you're gonna do tomorrow or whatever. There's really not, if you think about it, there's not a lot of times really where you can truly say that you're truly present in this moment in time. There is not a lot. That's where stress comes in. That's what stress is. Stress is not being present here, now, focused. Just being happy, just being at peace where you are, and not thinking and worrying and stressing and straining and arguing and falling out. Why do you think we stress, argue and falling out? Because of stress. We stress, then we fall out and we argue. So we get stressed, we fall out and we argue. And why do we get stressed? Because we're constantly, as minds control everything, as emotions, our emotions control everything. That's what they are. And if your emotions are unsettled and stressed, then that's how your life will be, stressed, and you'll fall out and you get angry. And again, this causes people to get, where they can't cope. So yeah, I've just kind of waffled on there for like 20 minutes, but I just feel I'm just trying to, I don't even know what my aim is. I think it's just to hopefully make people realise, that they're not the only one, and there is, good solid reasons why they feel certain ways, and just to accept, that, just to accept themselves, just accept yourself, love yourself. If things are stressing you out, talk about it. Don't be scared or feel like you're gonna sound like a pussy or weak or whatever. If you talk about something that you feel unsettled by, even if it's anything, it could be anything at all. Just talk about it and realise what it is. Realise that it's not really a true natural human pattern which you've got yourself, worried about. It's actually unnatural, and that's why you feel stressed about it, and that's why you feel angry about it, and that's why you feel unsure about it, and that's why you get when you can't sleep at night, because it's unnatural. I said to someone earlier on, if we lived in the Amazon jungle, I don't think we'd have these problems. We wouldn't, would we? Think about it. We would not. We wouldn't have these problems. So yeah, so that's what it's kind of aimed at. It's just people accepting themselves, and hopefully not being too hard on themselves, and just be yourself, express yourself, be yourself. If you're sensitive, then embrace it. If you're sensitive, embrace it. But also, you know, I would suggest in learning what makes you stressed, what situations make you stressed. You can either take them situations, like if I spend a lot of time on my phone, I get stressed and I don't get anything done. So for me, really sensibly would be to get like a brick phone, which is what I've got in the kitchen, which is what I normally do. I put my SIM card in my brick phone, and I seem to get more things done, and I'm not as stressed. But then what I do then is I think, I'm alright now, I don't feel stressed, so I'll go back on my thingy phone, my smartphone, and I spend too much time on it, get stressed, and I put my SIM card back in that phone. But yeah, it's just about learning what's causing you to feel stressed. Just take a deep breath and just look at your life and just, see, what can be making you feel, bad and unsettled. And you'll probably find that there's a lot of things in your life that you don't need that are stressing you out. A lot of things you don't need, that we use to pacify ourselves and stuff. And then maybe replace it with something, good. I believe like yoga, meditation, just trying to still your mind, still that stress, because that stress is just going. Just use something just to still it, calm it, and be present in the moment. And I know more than anyone, like it can be really hard to achieve, and until you've achieved it, then you will never know what it feels like. So you'll never feel that peace. But when you do feel that peace, then you'll realise what was stressing you out, if you know what I mean. So you need to find that peace, just bring yourself into a calm situation, take away things out of your life that can stress you out and make you feel worse, and then go from there, and just be peaceful, and just be happy with yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Express yourself. It's a stressful place. It can be a really stressful place, and you're not the only one. You're not the only one. There's millions, if not billions of people going through it. But like I say, some people they can be that way all their lives and roll with it, But then I personally think that they won't ever get that, true peaceful feeling where you just still. They call it oneness, don't they? Like at one with yourself, at peace with yourself. That's when you truly know yourself and what you want in life and who you are in life and what your purpose is for. Until you find that stillness, personally, I think, you probably won't know what's going on. You'll just be in that rat race. So yeah, I've waffled on there. I've waffled on. So I hope this video can maybe just shine a bit of light. Like I say, this is just me just splurting out what I believe to be true with language of what, human language is what I'm using to express what I feel and think. Words, a load of words strung together to express the emotions of the mind. So yeah, I hope this video helps some people, just not be too hard on themselves and realise that this stress, most of it is not natural. It's not natural, so don't be too hard on yourselves if you get stressed and you can't do something, or you feel bad, or it's just pressure. It's just pressure. So yeah, I shall leave it at that.